Let's get reaction right now from Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota. Senator, thanks very much for joining us. I know you had a chance to actually meet with Zelensky just before that hostile Oval Office event took place. What's your reaction to what's going on?
Well, first of all, welcome. I'm glad to be on the new show. Pretty exciting.
It's your first day. Room, just a new time.
A new situation, yes. So I thought that meeting that we had before I went over to the Oval Office with Republicans and Democratic leaders couldn't have gone better. He was in good spirits. He was excited to sign the mineral deal. People gave him, I think, good advice, and it was just a very positive moment. It felt like in the wake of the British Prime Minister and the French President coming and their pledge to send troops to actually enforce whatever agreement comes out of it, I thought we have a new beginning. So, of course, I was appalled by what happened at the White House. I still think there's a chance of a reset.
Who do you blame for that disaster at the White House?
Well, I watched that tape over and over again, even the body language. President Zelensky's just simply explaining that Putin can't be trusted in a deal, something Republicans have acknowledged day in and day out, and that we have to make it as airtight as possible and have troops besides Ukrainian troops enforcing it. J.D. Vance, I was appalled by what he did because he berated Zelensky, a man who has put himself out there, went down to a street corner the day of the invasion and said, "We are here," and has never wavered, not with the Ukrainian people, not with the world. And for him to act like Zelensky has never said thank you, I have been in his presence, public meetings, private meetings. He says thank you all the time. And this is someone who has stood up for his country. His Ukrainian patriots have held the line. They have shed their own blood. They have buried their own, and they have stopped Vladimir Putin from marching right through Ukraine into the rest of Europe.
You think, as some have suggested, that Vice President Vance and the president deliberately wanted this to explode the way it did?
I don't know. It seemed that they were excited, and this deal is something that President Trump wants. So I think they did plan to berate him for grandstanding on TV. I don't know if they knew it would get this out of hand, but we are where we are, and I have appreciated Secretary Rubio has actually said that there may be an opening for a reset. That is my focus, is how can we reset? And with what happened in Europe this weekend, I think that's positive. They're going to Brussels, they come to a deal, and maybe we can still sign the minerals agreement and go from there.
You have confidence in the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, your former colleague.
I have confidence that cooler heads have to prevail here. He could be one of them, to say we need to get this on track. I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, Trump supporter, not Trump supporter. It is in America's best interest to come from strength and not surrender.
As you know, even some of some U.S. officials are now vilifying, President Zelensky. Leaders in Europe, allies of the United States, are embracing him. Can Europe deliver on a peace plan without significant involvement from the United States?
We need the United States in the agreement simply because we have been providing a lot of the military expertise and the weapons. However, people should know the European countries, NATO has gone from 6 countries spending 2% of their budget on defense to 23 countries doing that. They have given over $50 billion in military assistance, over $100 billion overall. They are in this big time pledging troops. So this is going to be a combined effort, but the United States must be part of it, if anything, for our standing in the world when we stand up for democracies. We don't want to be on the side of Iran and North Korea and Russia and China. We want to be on the side of our allies, which are over 50% of the economy when combined with the U.S., as opposed to Russia, which I think is at 2%.
I want to look ahead to tomorrow night and President Trump's joint address to Congress, which I assume you'll be attending, right?
Well, yes.
Because some Democrats have suggested maybe they'll want to boycott that session, but you're going to be there.
I will. I'm in leadership, and I believe the leaders will all be there, yes.
As you know, the Democrats have tapped freshman Senator Elissa Slotkin of Michigan to give the Democratic Party response to Trump's speech. How should Senator Slotkin counter the president's address, especially coming from a state he won last November.
Well, let's also remember she won it at the same time. That's because she has a phenomenal background in the military. She is someone that gets it from the Midwest perspective. So I think what our response must be is, number one, he promised a whole bunch of people that voted for him and actually voted for me and Alyssa Slatkin as well. He said, I'm going to bring down costs from day one. What do we see? We see egg prices wholesale up 23%, lumber prices up, coffee prices up, and all of the things he's done, including these tariffs on our allies, on Canada and Mexico, can bring them up even more. So I think that he better take some responsibility for making this his priority, and that includes health care, and that includes housing and the like, and also stop this search for money everywhere to give billionaires tax cuts, and then start making these cuts out of Medicaid. You look at what the House budget is, or firing people that are working on protecting our nuclear stockpile or working on avian flu. This is not the direction that people want to go in, and 66% of Americans already say that he's not doing enough on costs.
Senator Amy Klobuchar, thanks so much for joining us. We hope you'll be a frequent guest here in the Situation Room.
I'm excited about it. Thanks, Will.